Sadie Sink is making her MCU debut in Spider-Man Brand New Day, or is she? Recent reports indicate that not only is she looking more and more likely to be the MCU's Jean Grey, but she might be popping up sooner than we expected. Hey everybody, Colton here, and Sadie Sink is in Spider-Man Brand New Day, as well as Avengers Secret Wars, but there are some recent reports that she has signed an even larger deal with Marvel Studios, a 5-picture deal with an option for TV, and I think I know what that TV option may be. Punisher One Last Kill. Hear me out because I know it sounds fucking crazy, but I do have receipts. So today's Ask Colton question comes to us from Lance. Lance writes, Colton, what other projects do you think Sadie Sink has signed up for besides Spider-Man 4 and Avengers Secret Wars? Could it be Doomsday? All right, thanks so much for that question. So Sink's 5-picture deal that is being reported on with an option for TV, which I guess just means that a film can maybe be swapped for a TV appearance, or actually more likely it's probably that she has agreed that yes, I will appear in TV projects for an additional fixed amount, in addition to what I'm signing on for contractually for the films, something like that. Anyway, the 5-picture deal, it may well already include Brand New Day and Secret Wars. So that would be 2 of the 5. Or maybe it's in addition to Brand New Day. So 1 of the 5 would be Secret Wars, and Brand New Day is not part of that 5-picture deal with Marvel Studios. Plus Brand New Day, it is a Marvel Studios film, but it's also a Sony Pictures film. So I could see a scenario where the 5 films, 1 of them is Secret Wars, but Brand New Day does not take up a slot. Now, we can safely assume, especially if she is indeed playing Jean Grey, that I think 3 of these 5 films are going to be X-Men movies. And I think they are going to be doing a new X-Men trilogy, and she's been signed on for all of them. And quite honestly, I'm surprised this report doesn't say, a 7 or 9-picture deal, which I'm sure they did try to do, but then Sadie and her representation likely negotiated that down to 5. That way she can ask for more money after this 5-picture contract expires. Which, she should, if they're using her character as this big of a building block for the mutant saga. And I think that's where Punisher comes into all of this. The rumored plot of Spider-Man Brand New Day is that Jean is a mutant on the run who is captured by the Department of Damage Control. And it has also been reported, and rumors suggest, that the Punisher is helping Jean. Initial reports were that Punisher was helping her avoid arrest by the DODC, the Department of Damage Control. But a recent leak suggested that he is actually helping Jean get in contact with a guy named Metzger, who I theorized in a previous video that Frank may know from his military days, and Jean could be wanting to link up with this Metzger guy because he can help get rid of her mutation, and that leak went into the possibility of that all being linked to the same device that Hulk uses to suppress turning into the Hulk. It's this whole thing, and in the comics, Metzger, he's this extreme anti-mutant guy. I won't get into all of that here, but in Brand New Day, it is looking like the character of Metzger will be anti-mutant, but maybe he kind of hides his bigotry toward mutants in more of I'm just concerned about safety kind of thing, but we'll learn that no, he's actually just super bigoted towards mutants. And anyway, he becomes the leader of the DODC. So anyway, Jean may want to get rid of her mutation, and she might ask Frank to help her get this cure, but she is then betrayed and imprisoned for them to use her mutation, use her power. But that is all just a rumor. And instead, I want to offer up the possibility of a more traditional mutant on the run type story here. A Punisher getting dragged into something that he initially had no involvement with type of story. Those are always the best Punisher stories, Punisher Season 2 especially. So here's the pitch. The DODC, it is hunting down mutants, and Jean is a mutant. Punisher is then operating underground and helping mutants, and maybe even just other vigilantes who have been captured by this militarized state police that may be connected to the anti-vigilante task force that Fisk is running, and that put Punisher in a cage, by the way, at the end of Born Again Season 1. Maybe we're seeing Punisher help vigilantes and just superpowered people. So in Brand New Day, I think we could see Jean already in DODC custody, and Frank is trying to bust her out. Maybe he even thinks that Jean is in this tank that we see him chasing through the city in Brand New Day. But Punisher One Last Kill, the show or the special presentation, which is coming out before Spider-Man Brand New Day, and which has a synopsis that essentially says Frank is getting pulled right back into the fight after having tried to get out of the game and have a peaceful, normal life. this could just end up giving us that classic Punisher Season 2 style story where we see Punisher just brutally taking down DODC agents after being pulled into this fight, and DODC agents who are pursuing mutants and mutants like Jean Grey, and Punisher One Last Kill. It could end like with Punisher trying to save Jean, but she is taken by the DODC, and it is revealed that, Metzger is this super bad guy and perhaps had this connection to Frank, like in a military, type connection from the past. And this could all be setting up Punisher to then go on his mission to free Jean Grey, and that we are seeing happen in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Now, I know that kind of sounds like it's making Punisher One Last Kill required viewing for Spider-Man Brand New Day, but I think they would tell it in a way to where it is not required viewing. It's just nice if you have seen it. If you've seen it, you'll appreciate it even more, but in the film itself, they will have a scene that really quickly and, concisely explains like what's going on. They're getting superpowered people. They're rounding them up. They're caging them. They're using them. Punisher's trying to help this girl that he knows. Simple. So they can tell us all that in Brand New Day and make it to where people can enjoy it without having had to have seen Punisher One Last Kill. But if you have, that makes it even better. Now, would this be a little odd to introduce the MCU's Jean Grey in a TV MA Punisher Disney Plus special presentation? Yeah, it would be a little weird, but who cares? Be weird. I thought it was a little weird that they were introducing Jean Grey in a Spider-Man movie. So is that unlikely? Yeah, it's unlikely. But I thought it was unlikely that Sadie Sink's character would be Jean Grey, and that the new Jean Grey, like I said, would be introduced in a Spider-Man film prior to Doomsday and Secret Wars. And at this point, ever since Jamie Foxx came back as Electro, I just think everything's kind of on the table. So Sadie Sink, she's a streaming star right now, more than she is a movie star. And that's, I'm sure, is going to change. But Punisher One Last Kill, as of this moment, with Sadie Sink being known for her role in Stranger Things, a big streaming show, Punisher One Last Kill, that's a streaming movie, essentially. So this is right in her wheelhouse. It's not like it's beneath her or anything like that. And I think it's a great way to soft launch this character into like Spider-Man Brand New Day, but also into Secret Wars, and then into new MCU like post-Secret Wars projects like the new X-Men. So let me know your thoughts and theories on that down in the comments below. Do you think it's possible that in Spider-Man Brand New Day, we are seeing the Punisher, seeing Frank help Jean Grey get out of DODC custody? And do you think we could see a scenario where Punisher One Last Kill is actually going to feature Sadie Sink as Jean Grey as well, and that could be one of the options that she has signed, with an option for TV in this contract that's being reported on? And could this be like a nice little prelude to Spider-Man Brand New Day, where we actually see her get captured by the DODC and set up Brand New Day? Let me know your thoughts on all that down in the comments below, and let me know what other projects you think that Sadie might pop up in a post-Secret Wars era. Thank you so much for watching. I do apologize if I sound sick. I am sick. I actually just got back from the doctor. So me and my whole family are actually sick. It's some kind of, just cold going around or something. But thank you for watching, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.